Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to quickly break down the process of my recent project, the Moon Guardian. And this project is inspired by a concept art from a concept artist called Hardy Fowler. And I'll link his concept art and his Artstation page in the description. This video is not a step-by-step tutorial, so I'm not going to go in depth or in detail on how I did anything. I'm just going to give an overview in a brief way so that someone will get some ideas on how to approach certain things. As always, everything started with the concept art. And this is the cool concept art I got. So as always, I started with reference. So I got the references here, and what I did was I started breaking down the reference, the details. So I just made some pointers, and I just analyzed the image before starting, and what are things that is visible, what are the elements that we have to do, and all those things. So it started with a breakdown of the reference itself, and then I moved on to the next step. I don't want to gather too much reference, so I just wanted some similar body type. So this guy, this model has a similar body type, even though he has, I think, 8 packs or something. So yeah, I got a similar body type just for reference sake, nothing else. And I did have some reference for the backs also, because I wanted to know how his back would have looked, because we only have the front side of the character. So I got this. And as much as this character is humanoid, it has few features which is animalistic. So the first one, which is obvious, is the horns. So I got some references for the horns itself. So I didn't got there are animals with similar horns, but I just wanted to see the textures. So I didn't spend too much time researching for the horns, or how the horns are, or any kind of similar thing. I got a pretty good idea on just seeing the concept art, and I just wanted to know if there's going to be any additional textures or anything like that. So after gathering this, I was a little satisfied after gathering this much reference. So I stopped gathering any more reference, and I just used these. Most of these come in handy when I was doing texturing. So during the modeling phase, I just used whatever is visible here and this reference, maybe, I think. Yeah, I just wanted to get something similar, some similar texture. I mean, the form, not the texture, the form in the sculpt itself. So, and the other thing which is animalistic is his ears and his legs. He has a humanoid hand, but his legs are more like werewolf legs. So I just got some reference for that, and that's it. I just want to know where his ankle will be and how his foot will land. So yeah, this is the only reference I took. And for this project, I gathered very less reference. Usually, I will spend gathering reference for around 1 or 2 or 3 days, and as far as I realized, those time are being wasted, because I'm going to use only a few references when I'm actually doing the projects. And the more reference I had, it just made me confused, because if I have say five different models for the body type, I would have to like go between this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and at the end, none of them are going to have a similar body type. So I will be constantly making changes. The pecs, maybe his pecs, the pecs that I'm sculpting will be from this guy, and the abdomen or the six packs will be from another guy. And at the end, it just made a lot of mess. So I just keep on shuffling between the references, which I realized is not very productive for me. So I am consciously choosing to get only as much as reference as less as possible. So I won't be able to, so that I won't be shuffling between references and making a mess out of it. So references are important, but try to only use things which are necessary. Just don't We don't have to fill our board entirely for reference. And next is the sculpting phase. So yeah, this is how it started. So I didn't use any base mesh or anything. I started from a sphere, and as you can see, I just blocked out the shapes. I started with blocking out the shapes, and then I merged them into a single subtool, and then I sculpted the whole entire character. Why I am starting with different pieces? Because initially I will be sculpting. Sorry, initially I was sculpting using Dynamesh. This is as I'm started with a sphere. We don't have a proper topology. If I started with a base mesh, then there is no need for the segmentation. As I was starting with the sphere, it's a Dynamesh. So let's say if I have to sculpt the hand, let's quickly explain what happens if I have it as a single tool. Merge. Let's say this is a single tool. So when I have to sculpt areas like in between the hands and all, if I Dynamesh, this is what happens. Even if I increase the resolution to say 800, I can sculpt, but the issue will be the polygon will be more. Just for the base sculpt, it's already 1.76 million polygons, and if I have more polygon, then the major changes would be hard. So it is always recommended to start the project with as less poly as possible. So that's why I started with a base sculpt like this, and once this is done, I started doing retopology in Topogun. Unfortunately, the file is not opening, so when I try to open the Topogun files, I'm just getting an error. So it looks like I deleted one of the meshes that I used for retopology. So yeah, so that's that. Yeah. So unfortunately, I can't show that Topogun scene, but this is what I did. I just imported this mesh into Topogun and I started doing retopology. I think I have adjusted the topology in Blender, retopo cleanup. Let's see. So yeah, so I didn't do the retopology in Blender. I just used Blender for some cleanup work because Topogun is not, Topogun has a lot of limitations, which can be rectified using another software like Blender or Maya. So I am primarily a Blender user for modeling, so I used Blender for the adjustment. Okay, so this is the blockout mesh. Then I did a retopo, and this topology is not the final one. So the topology will may or may not change, but I think I didn't change it. I think this is the final topology for me, or maybe I edited some areas where it might need some changes. So yeah, so once the retopology is done, and by the way, we don't need to have a proper defined mesh to do the retopology. So we just need a base to create the proper loop so that we can start sculpting the high poly model, and we can use the multi-level subdivision in ZBrush. So we can go up or down the subdivision level. So once we have multiple subdivisions, we can go to a lower subdivision to make major changes, and we can go to higher subdivision to make minor changes. Minor changes in the sense we can do fine details like wrinkle or anything like that. And when we go to the lower subdivision, we can move a hand or leg more easily. So this is the model from ZBrush. I mean the base mesh from ZBrush, and I used Topogun to do the retopology, and then I imported them into Blender, projected them, and made the necessary changes here. So once the retopology or creating a new topology is done, I went back to ZBrush and I started projecting the details onto the base mesh and started sculpting. So this is the final sculpt. So once in ZBrush, I started sculpting all the details, and after creating all the base details like the entire body mass, I started using layers to do all the finer details. This is the high poly, and this is the sculpt, high poly sculpt without any refined smaller details like all the wrinkles and stuff. Then I started using all the layers to do all the fine details like all the wrinkles, pores, all those things. So we can see in face line, I don't know what it is. Okay, it's some symmetry thing. Yeah, as you can see. As you can see, I can switch off and on all these details. So all these details are sculpted in layers. Yeah, even the nipples, I think. Yes. And the lip wrinkle means this. It's very fine detail, so there is no need for this to be on the higher poly anyway. So I just used layers to create all these details. So once these details are done, I even okay, looks like I didn't use, yeah, I didn't use any layers for the horns because it don't I didn't give too much details in the sculpting process. I did all the fine details in the texturing, and all the armors and cloth, fabric, everything. These are all created in Blender. So let me show you that. So here in Blender, I imported the base mesh from ZBrush in the lower subdivision level to create the costume for the character. So all the costumes are entirely created in Blender except for this part. This fabric I created in ZBrush because it has some this part. So because it had some fabric details, I could have sculpted this in Blender, but I created this in ZBrush and I imported it back. But except this, all the fabric, all the costume elements are entirely created in ZBrush. And the UV editing for the cloths and even for the character, everything is done in Blender. So UV used to be one of the annoying thing in Blender. It used to be. I primarily Rhizome UV user for all the UV works till my recent project, but lately, since the extension thing started for Blender, we have a lot of cool free add-ons. Yeah, so specifically there are these two add-ons, which is Univ and Mayo 3, Mayo 3 UV and Univ. These two add-ons combined made made the UV editing process so easy in Blender. So it still don't have advanced features like Rhizome UV, but for the most of the work that I do, I'm going to place all the UVs manually. So I just want them to unwrap and organize stuff. Right now, none of these have any group functionality that I know. There might be, but I might not know. And there are other paid add-ons which have all those functionalities, but I don't think that is necessary, because even in Rhizome UV, I was just manually unwrapping and packing all the things. So I just use these two add-ons. These two add-ons almost have like 85% of the tools are similar. There are one or two functionality which Mayo have that Unip don't have, and vice versa. So I use both of these add-ons to create all the UV. And yeah, I just used this much UDM tiles. As you can see, all the props and all the character stuff are everything is in this in this 12 UDMs. As you can see, the characters, and I don't want to waste all these empty spaces, and I can't use bring this UDM here without cutting it more. I just want to make as less cuts as possible in the body areas, because the entire character's body is exposed. If this character is having any cloth, then I could have made some few more cuts and I could have utilized the spaces. But as this character's entire body is visible, I don't want to make any more cuts than necessary, because later in texturing process it might be helpful, or it might affect if I have too many cuts. So I just packed all the other elements like the horns and all the costume stuff in wherever I had the gaps, and yeah, I try to use as much as possible. So that's how the UV process went. So after UV, I baked the textures in Marmoset toolbar. So the baking can be done in Substance Painter or Blender itself. I just use Marmoset toolbar because I just wanted to get the results quickly. I was running out of patience at that time. So yeah, and the results are quite nice. So I baked all the textures using the high poly mesh to the low poly mesh. So this is the high poly mesh for the costume. Most of the things don't have too much details, because all these wraps I didn't give any wrinkles or anything. I just wanted to keep them as plain as possible, because I don't see any too much detail or any stuff like that. And I was planning to make all this leather as leather, so I don't want to add too much wrinkles during the modeling or the sculpting phase. So these are plain, but anyway, I use the high poly to low poly mesh to bake all the ambient occlusion, all the cavity maps, and all the other unnecessary maps for texturing. So once the baking was done, by the way, this UV, I don't think this is the final UV. Yeah, I think I made few more changes after this point. And at this stage, I didn't have a hairband. If you see in my final project, the character has a hairband. Yes, the hairband is there. So at this point, at this stage, I didn't even plan for this, even though I had a rough sketch of the hair. When I was doing the costume, I entirely forgot about that part. So uh, that is one addition, and there are a few other changes based on the based on the UV texel density and other stuff. So yeah, till I finish the render, nothing is complete. Even sometimes in my old projects, even when I'm doing texturing, I might go back to the modeling model, and I will change some model so that it might look better, because sometimes I might find some details are not quite well during the texturing process or during the rendering process, and so the project is not done till it's done. I hope you guys understand. So yeah, once UV is done, then I have to go and do the texturing in Substance Painter. So this is how it started. I started the texturing process for the character first, and I did the texture for the costume later. So first I imported all the baked texture maps in a separate folder, especially the normal maps, because the textures, especially the details for the face, especially all these wrinkles and all. So I imported them as a texture as a normal map, and used any displacement or height. So yeah, so the other one is ambient occlusion. I will remove it. So I imported all the face details and all the other details as a normal map, and I just switched it on. As you can see, even for the horns, the details are more pronounced when I switch on the normal map. and then slowly I just started adding the details and all the pores for the skin. Let me show it to you better. So all the skin details, all the wrinkles and pores, all these details. Actually, I didn't use any texture XYZ maps. There are some available, even though I used to use specifically the texture XYZ. I think there are some materials in the substance library that are available, so I just use them, mix and match them. So it even comes with female, male, and the body parts: neck, shoulder, abdomen, and leg. So it is already pretty much named and everything. So I just added them one by one and I just masked each part. I will show it in 4K. Yeah, as you can see, there are different pores for the shoulders, there are different pores for the arms and even the elbow and the hands and the abdomen, the back, the neck. Actually, there are some textures which we can reuse for the detail which I used on the arms. I can use it for the neck and so on. So we can just mix and match, mix and match. And I have a library of pictures, mostly collected from Instagram, close-up body shots, which shows all these pores and wrinkles in a very clear way. So I used to study that a lot. So all those close-up body shot images, even if you get it from online, that will be better. So you don't have to spend so much money on texture XYZ per se. So you can utilize all the maps which is available with your Substance or Adobe subscriptions. So that is that. And after that I just started giving colors one by one, just base colors, and added veins and all those things. These veins are mostly the procedural marble tileable textures that is coming with that ships with Substance, and I just added more layers of this same colors or different colors. So when I stack all those things, even for the lips, I didn't give too much color for the lips because I don't think there was too much color in the reference for the lips. Yes, the lips are also the same color as the other parts of the skin. So, and yeah, so I just layered a lot of different colors on top of each other. Eye patch, ears, nails. The nails are a little different one from what we usually see because the character has dark nails on the legs, and the nails in the hands are not visible, so I just assumed it will be the same as these nails, so I just gave the same color. Right now we are viewing in 2K. My system is not able to take the load recording and using a Substance because this file is a pretty heavy file. And even for the nails, for the toenails, and all the other details, and then I added a roughness pass, then the earring. I didn't separated the earring mesh from the costume, so it was here, so I just added another layer. And the horns, as you can see, all these streak lines, all these line details, all these streaks, I didn't do them in sculpting or in ZBrush. I just gave those details during the texturing phase. And most of the yeah, most of the details are going to be, or yeah, and most of the details are going to be covered with the wraps, the costume. So yeah, that's how I did the horn, the veins, and the symbol is an interesting case. So I created the symbol in Affinity, the new Affinity. It's just Affinity. So yeah, the Vector Studio or the Vector workspace in the new Affinity software. And then I created the texture for the costume. So that's a different file. Let me open. So this is the final texture of the character with the costume and everything. And luckily, when I am doing this project Substance Release, there are ribbon tools with a lot of inbuilt fabric textures. So all these all these fabric details that you are seeing here, they all shipped with the new Substance ribbon tool, I think. Where are they? Yeah, so these are the tools that I used here. So these are the textures that I used with the ribbon tool to create all these details. Otherwise, it would have taken a lot of time. I just reused a lot of textures. This gold and all I just reused many times, and for this is the same gold, but I just reduced the opacity for this one, so it will look a little different. And yeah, all the straps I just gave a generic leather texture which came with shipped with Substance. For this shoulder shoulder shield or whatever this thing is, we don't have a proper view, so I have no idea what is in this shield thing, other than these details. So from this view I just created those details, and here I just added the same symbol that we have on his chest, and even for his arm pad I just gave the same thing, because even that is not visible in the concept art. It is visible but there's no symbol. I just added just like that. Yeah, that's it for the texturing. And during the texturing phase I textured them in using two different materials texture sets. So the body is separate and the costume is separate, just so it will be easy for me to navigate around the viewport and all those stuff during the texture process. And later on I just combine these all these UDMs together. And now to the creation of hair. So hair creation is a little fascinating for me, because I'm it creating hair, real-time hair, or hair in general, is really tedious and really tough at the point, and I was not at all good in creating hairs, but right now I'm enjoying creating hairs using an add-on in Blender called the hair tools. And guys, it just makes all the work so much easier. So from creating the haircuts, these are the haircuts that I created for this project. From creating the haircuts to modeling the haircuts, and everything is so easy in Blender using this add-on. I think this should be this is very underrated add-on. So if you guys ever want to create add-ons, just go to add tools for Blender. And this add-on is not too costly, because you can considering the fact that you can create the haircuts here, it's a underrated add-on, if you ask me. And I think the fiber shop actually the fiber shop is somewhat around 100 or $150. Yes. So the perpetual license for fiber shop is $150. It is a cool software. To put plainly, I'm not going to say this is not okay or this is a bad software. This is an awesome software, but considering the value for $150 just for creating haircuts, compared to $50 for creating the hair, and even this comes in handy for creating the models also. Like we can create braids in very easily. Even for the character that I made, it has a braid and it's just a simple curve. If I switch off the entire hair system, mm, I just created a single hair strand, and from this hair strand I just made an entire braid. And I have more control over it. So yeah, so definitely check this add-on, guys. Maybe I will make videos on how to use this tool, because it is not easy to it is not easy to use this software, use this add-on straight out of the box. But right now I think I have a pretty good idea to create any kind of hairstyles. I think I need more practice to get better results. I didn't spend much time on the back hair. As you can see, it is I'm not satisfied with the hair on the head, but I'm pretty satisfied with the beard, even though I know it can be a little better. uh, I didn't focus too much on the hair, but yes, I created the hair cards and the entire real-time hair in Blender using the add-on called hair tools, and it is a must if you are trying to create real-time haircuts. After haircuts, I created the sword. I just used the reference, I just rotated it, I just cropped it, and I just traced the entire sword. And the the handle part I just changed a little bit. I just added the leather straps, and it's just the same sword. I just went into edit mode and I just scaled it something like that. That's all I did. And both have same textures, almost same textures. And if we go to the UV, both have same UV and everything is the same, so nothing's changed. Even though in the concept art the character has two swords, even the two swords look so similar. So I just created one sword and I just scaled the blade and duplicated it, made it into another sword. And yes, so that's how the sword that's how I created the sword. And again, all these details are painted using the ribbon tool in Substance. I just wanted to explore that tool more. So yeah, it is a cool tool. Once all the textures are done for both character and the weapon, I started posing. Yeah, and I used the auto rig add-on for Blender to quickly create a rig for the character. And I don't want to spend too much time weight painting and all those stuff, so I just quickly created the rig and I posed the rig. And anywhere I was seeing any issue, any kind of issues, say, let's say for this, yeah. So the cloth, I didn't rig the cloth with it. So after posing the character, I just sculpted it using a shape key, and I did the same for all the other areas also. So if we see this shorts, without the pose key, we were seeing some parts exposed. So I just made a quick correction for this part using a shape key, and I just did the same for almost all the other areas of the mesh, even for the armband. So this is a lot more quicker because I just have to move stuff instead of weight painting. Weight painting will take a lot of time, so I don't want to. I'm not going to animate the character anyway, and I'm just going to post it. I just want a single pose. So yeah, I just quickly moved the character, and I just weight painted all the parts where I was seeing any kind of intersections or any overlaps. So yeah, that's how I did the posing. And once the posing was done, I started creating the background. And so let me quickly break down the background. So I just add a plane, and I just gave it a simple texture. I downloaded the texture from Quixel, and this background I just this is also a sphere. Think it's non-selectable. Select it. It's just a sphere. I downloaded a universe image, and I just made it tileable, and I just added it to the sphere with the emissive material. If we see it as rendered, yeah. So I didn't even bother removing this scene. And the moons are actual objects. It's not just a background detail. I just created two moons with full textures and all those things. And I just added emissive material for the moon also. And yeah, as you can see, it's just a normal sphere, and I just added a moon texture and gave some emissive values. And both are same moons. I just rotated it a little different. So yeah, I could have stopped with, I could have made it as a background detail, but I don't know, just went a little overboard, I think. All the bloom effects are done in composition, and I did added some quite a few compositing nodes. I just increased the contrast and brightness of the character, and reduced the contrast and brightness of the moon because the moon was too distracting. And yeah, I just created some mask, and I just made the weapons glow a little bit more, gave the weapons a little bit more brightness. That way it is not too dark also. So yeah, the compositing is not too much. I didn't do uh, very crazy thing or anything. I just created few masks, and I used them to increase the contrast and brightness and all some other color corrections for few elements separately. And I just added a blur, added dispersion, and I just added blur to the background, not to the character, to the background. So you see, I think, yeah, it's very subtle. I'm not sure if you can see it in the YouTube compression, but there is a very mild blur happening. And yeah, that's how I did this project, guys. I just want to keep this as short as possible, but I think it took a long time. Hope you guys got some ideas for your future projects, and I will upload all the time lapse soon. I just have to edit the unwanted parts, and I just had to speed those videos up, and I will upload them soon. And yeah, with this, hopefully we'll see with my next project, and hopefully I will do it soon. Not I won't take another 5 months for it. Yeah, thank you for watching the video, guys, and if you like the video, click on the like button, and you can subscribe to my channel. Even though I'm not very active, I am trying my best. Hopefully moving forward I'll be posting more videos, and hopefully tutorials, and I'm planning to make some tutorials on the creating haircuts. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you for watching again. Bye.